Hi guys, it's Amy and my channel is Strength Reversed. Thank you so much for watching. I'm outside because my amaryllis are in bloom and there's pollen everywhere, but I'm roughing it, okay? These make me happy. They come out every year. Today I'm talking about reversals, and I'm going to do this in two parts. Today I'm going to give you 5 ways that you could approach a reversed card, and then next week I'll give you 5 more ways. And these are just ways that I've discovered just through reading that are kind of flavors that a reversed card could have. So what got to me thinking about reversals was a post that I saw in one of my Facebook groups that said something to the effect of, just to let you guys know, I'm officially done with reversals and I feel so liberated. And it made me laugh because, you know, many of us have love-hate relationships with reversals, just like with court cards, right? And so I got to thinking about my different approaches to reversals. And when I first started reading for several years, if you had asked me, do you read reversals? I would have said, of course I do. But as you know, I never really studied reversals per se. I might read the reversed meaning just for laughs, you know, as I was studying upright meanings, but I strictly went with my intuition when a reversal came up. And as I came across something that a reversal could mean, just general reversals, not a specific card, I have a page in my tarot journal where I would list, okay, here's one thing a reversal could mean. Well, one thing turned into a dozen things. And so it got to the point where a reversal would come up and I would just be jamming. I would draw a blank. It was almost like having writer's block. And then I came across something in a book, which is written somewhere in some deep, dark recesses of a tarot journal. It said, if you believe that a card has 360 degrees of meaning, why do you need to read reversals? And so that kind of I let myself off the hook a little bit, and I decided I was going to boycott reversals for a while. So when one came up, I would just flip it right side up and move on. And I think before I start telling you about reversals, I think that's totally fine. I do not believe that you have to read reversals to have a complete, deep, accurate tarot reading at all. But sometimes I think reversals add a little bit of depth or maybe flavor to your reading. Now, I do read reversals. They just I started paying more and more attention to them again, and I don't stress about them too much. So here are 5 approaches that I take to reading reversals, and the first 5, and next week I'll give you another 5, but I will tell you they do overlap a lot. And how I know which one to use is strictly, you have to vibe it. And that's where the art of tarot comes in. I just have to use my intuition. A lot of it depends on the card. Some of these meanings lend themselves more to one card or another, and some of it depends on the question or the position in the spread. So number 1, the first way I approach a reversal is just an overall looking at the spread and seeing how many reversed cards there are. So if there are lots of reversed cards, for me that feels like a stuck or stagnant energy, and so I just get that information about the situation, that things are not moving. It can also tell me that this might not be a functional or healthy situation. So that's something that might pop up for me when there are lots of reversals. The second possibility is just the opposite meaning, kind of adding not or un. And I have a lot of cards laid out that just spoke to me as I went through the deck. So if you have the Fool can mean starting out, taking chances, trusting the universe, a leap of faith. If it's reversed, it might simply mean not doing that. You're not beginning anything. You're not trusting the universe. You are not flying by the seat of your pants, that you're hanging on too tightly, maybe. The Six of Wands, my son calls this his poop in the potty card. When he was like 3, he picked this card out and it was, you know, victory after hard-fought battles. So he still gets a kick out of this card. But if the Six of Wands is reversed, it could just mean not successful, an unsuccessful attempt. And again, these are related. So the third possibility for a reversal could just be no or not favorable. Now, I am not a proponent of asking the tarot yes/no questions. I think a pendulum is much better suited to that, or something else. But I think tarot is more of a conversation. So I tend to not ask it yes/no questions, but sometimes you might get kind of a no or not looking good kind of an answer. So if you ask about that relationship and the Two of Cups comes up reversed, you might not be feeling it, right? Or, you know, the Three of Pentacles, if the question is about someone's promotion, at this point, I might have the querent think about, well, what would you do if you didn't get the promotion? Let's go to plan B here, just so that you're ready. Just, you know, it could happen, but if it doesn't, maybe you could get your ducks in a row for another eventuality. A fourth possible meaning of reverse cards is more of an energy or a feeling of not yet or almost. This is like a gathering but unmanifested energy. So a Page of Swords might come up about, let's say it's about contacting an ex. This might indicate to me, not yet. You might want to wait on that. Maybe that would be better later on. Just sleep on it. Don't do anything. Don't push send. Don't flip out. Don't go crazy. Maybe the Lover's card coming up in a relationship spread. I know it doesn't have to be about romantic love, but that might mean not yet. You know, if something looks favorable in the future and this comes up for the present, that might just mean that the energy is gathering and you have to be a little more patient. Sometimes death reversed, you might have to go back to the lesson of the previous card. So if this comes up reversed, sometimes you might go back to the Hanged Man and say, well, wait a minute, you can't move on to this part of the journey because you're not done with the Hanged Man part. You have to be patient a little longer. You have to see things from a different perspective for a little longer before this manifests. And, you know, it just could, this is just the quality of number 4 is just, it's still manifesting. So this job, you know, if you're reading about a job, this might mean not yet. It might not be when you expect it. It might take a little longer for that to happen. You know, or the Ace of Cups, that new boyfriend might take a little longer to appear. So you have to keep things in perspective. And the fifth possible meaning of a reversal is the opposite of number 4. So instead of a gathering energy, it might be a weak or diminishing energy, something that's on its way out. I'm sorry, you know, this might be, if you see this maybe in a future position, you know, I might tell a querent that even if it doesn't last forever, there's still the potential to find really meaningful things. It doesn't mean that it was a waste of time. There are still lessons to be learned and good times to be had. You know, it's still a valuable relationship, even if it's not a permanent relationship. Same with the Two of Cups. Maybe in a relationship, that might mean it's fizzling out. Or maybe for the Three of Swords, if this comes up reversed, it might be time to just quit crying about that person. You know, quit bitching to your friends and just let it go and move on. The energy is on its way out. Or maybe it means you really had a hard time getting over this person, but that's, you know, getting better. It's no longer like that. So these are 5 possibilities, and, you know, some might speak to you and others might not. So if it works for you, cool. And if not, that's cool too. But thanks for watching. Please like or subscribe. And next week I'll give you 5 more possibilities. And let me know in the comments if any of these have come up for you, or if you have something I haven't listed here. I'd be interested to know. I'm always interested to add to my reversal repertoire. Thanks, guys.